Have you ever noticed that some days you just feel off? Maybe your energy's low even though you slept okay. Or you feel weaker than you used to, like it takes more effort to do simple things, getting up from a chair, carrying in the groceries, or taking that walk around the block you used to enjoy. It's not always about illness or age. Sometimes the problem is much more basic and fixable. It's what's on your plate. After 65, your body goes through some real changes. Your metabolism slows down, your muscles need more care, and your digestion doesn't quite work like it used to. But here's the surprising part: even if you think you're eating healthy, there could be silent mistakes in your diet that are slowly draining your strength and holding you back from living the way you want to live. And you wouldn't even know it. The truth is, most of us were never taught how to eat for aging. We learned how to eat to stay slim, or to get enough energy to raise a family, or to follow food fads. But eating after 65, that's a whole different conversation, and it deserves our attention. Because the right nutrition can give you more energy, sharper focus, better balance, stronger muscles, and even help you stay independent longer. In this video, we're going to walk through 5 of the most common nutrition mistakes people make after 65. Mistakes that may be slowly weakening your body without you even realizing it. And more importantly, we'll talk about what you can do instead. These changes are simple, they're doable, and they can make a world of difference. Let's start with the first one: not eating enough protein. This one might sound surprising, especially if you grew up hearing that too much protein wasn't good for you. Or maybe you were told that protein was mainly for bodybuilders or athletes. But here's what most people don't realize. After 65, your body actually needs more protein, not less. That's because your body becomes less efficient at using protein to maintain muscle. And muscle loss is one of the leading causes of weakness and frailty in older adults. If you've noticed you're getting smaller in the arms or legs, or you feel less steady on your feet, protein could be the missing link. Without enough of it, your body starts to break down muscle faster than it builds it. And over time, that leads to loss of strength, slower balance, and a greater risk of falls. Not to mention a drop in energy. Protein doesn't have to come from steak or chicken breasts either. It can be found in eggs, beans, tofu, Greek yogurt, fish, nuts, and seeds. A good rule of thumb is to aim for a serving of protein at every meal. And yes, breakfast counts. Skipping protein at breakfast is one of the most common habits that leaves people feeling tired before lunch. You don't need to go overboard. Just a couple of scrambled eggs, a spoonful of peanut butter on toast, or a cup of cottage cheese can be enough to kickstart your muscles in the morning. Then add some lean protein to lunch and dinner, and you're already way ahead of the game. Your body needs this to stay strong, not bulky, but stable, steady, and energized. Let's move into another big one: not drinking enough water. Now I know this might sound like a broken record, but I can't tell you how many people over 65 are walking around mildly dehydrated without even knowing it. And dehydration in older adults doesn't always show up as thirst. It shows up as fatigue, brain fog, dizziness, constipation, even low mood. All of which can make you feel older and weaker than you actually are. As we age, our sense of thirst naturally decreases. That means by the time you feel thirsty, you're already behind. And here's the thing: your body needs water to move nutrients through your system, to digest food properly, and to keep your joints moving smoothly. Without enough water, everything feels harder physically and mentally. One of the simplest changes you can make is to build a water routine. Don't wait for thirst. Start the day with a glass of water even before coffee. Keep a bottle by your side during the day and take small sips regularly. You can even flavor it with lemon or cucumber if plain water bores you. And don't forget that hydration doesn't just come from beverages. Fruits like watermelon, oranges, and strawberries, or veggies like cucumber and lettuce also help keep you hydrated and add important vitamins and fiber too. It's a small thing, but hydration has a big impact. It affects your blood pressure, your memory, your digestion, and your energy levels. And when you stay hydrated, everything in your body runs smoother. Now let's talk about a sneaky one, relying too much on low-fat or processed diet foods. You might think you're doing the right thing by buying foods labeled low-fat, sugar-free, or diet. After all, the packaging says it's healthy, right? But a lot of those processed products are filled with artificial ingredients, excess sodium, or chemicals that actually rob your body of energy and leave you feeling sluggish. As we get older, our bodies don't bounce back from those chemicals the way they used to. Things like artificial sweeteners, preservatives, and flavor enhancers can mess with your digestion, increase inflammation, and even affect your mood. Plus, low-fat versions of foods often replace fat with sugar or starch, which can spike your blood sugar and leave you feeling hungrier than before. And fat, by the way, isn't the enemy. Healthy fats like the ones in olive oil, avocado, salmon, walnuts are actually essential for brain health, hormone production, and keeping your skin and joints in good shape. You need some fat in your diet to stay sharp and strong. So instead of focusing on packaging claims, focus on real food. Look at the ingredients. The shorter the list, the better. Choose foods that come from nature, not a lab. It's okay to enjoy flavor. It's okay to enjoy healthy fats. And it's absolutely okay to walk right past that freezer full of light dinners with 100 unpronounceable ingredients. Now that we've covered the importance of protein, staying hydrated, and choosing real foods over processed ones, you might already be thinking about your own daily meals. What's missing? What could be added? It doesn't take a whole lifestyle overhaul. Sometimes it's just one small shift, one meal at a time. When you treat your nutrition like fuel, not just something to get through the day, everything changes. Your energy picks up. Your strength starts to come back. You notice your digestion is better, your mind feels clearer, and even your mood improves. That's the power of getting it right. Now that we've laid the groundwork, protein to support your muscles, hydration to energize your whole system, and steering clear of those sneaky processed diet foods, you're probably starting to see just how much your body is still listening. Every small adjustment you make sends a powerful message to your cells. Hey, we're still in this, we're still building, we're still strong. Let's keep that momentum going, because the next nutrition mistake we're about to talk about is one that flies under the radar for so many people, and it has to do with skipping meals. You might be thinking, what's wrong with skipping breakfast now and then? Or maybe you've heard that eating less is part of getting older, but here's the truth. After 65, skipping meals can actually weaken you, and not just physically. It messes with your metabolism, your muscle mass, your energy, and even your brain. Your body needs consistent fuel to function at its best. When you skip meals, especially breakfast or lunch, you're setting yourself up for blood sugar dips, brain fog, low mood, and fatigue. And the tricky part is that by the time you feel those symptoms, you might not even associate them with food. You might just chalk it up to aging, when really your body is running on empty. And here's something else most people don't realize. As we age, our appetite can change. It might shrink. You might not feel hungry the way you used to. That's why it's even more important to eat regularly and make every bite count. It's not about eating more, it's about eating smarter. Let's say you skip breakfast, you have a cup of coffee and think, that's enough for now. But by mid-morning, your body is searching for fuel. So you might start to feel a little dizzy or tired. And by lunch, you're so hungry that you reach for something quick and sugary. That spike in blood sugar gives you a short burst of energy, followed by an even deeper crash. It's a cycle that leaves you feeling worse, not better. Instead, aim for small, nourishing meals spaced throughout the day. Breakfast doesn't have to be big. Even a slice of whole wheat toast with almond butter or a hard-boiled egg and fruit can do the trick. The goal is to keep your energy steady so your body doesn't start breaking down muscle or pulling nutrients from reserves you can't afford to lose. And when you do eat, really eat. Slow down, enjoy the food. Let your body register that it's being taken care of. That sense of fullness and satisfaction will carry through the day and help you avoid snacking on empty calories later on. Now let's talk about another mistake that often creeps in, not getting enough vitamins and minerals from whole foods. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, I take a multivitamin so I'm covered. And don't get me wrong, supplements can be helpful, especially when prescribed by a doctor. But the truth is they're just that, supplements. They're meant to add to a healthy diet, not replace it. The problem is, many people assume that popping a pill means they don't have to worry about their food choices. But your body absorbs nutrients much more efficiently from real food. Whole foods come packaged with fiber, water, antioxidants, and enzymes that work together in ways supplements just can't replicate. Let's look at something like calcium, for example. Essential for keeping your bones strong and preventing fractures. But many people over 65 take calcium supplements without realizing that their body needs vitamin D to absorb it properly. And where does that D come from? Sunlight, yes, but also foods like fatty fish, fortified milk, and egg yolks. Or take magnesium, critical for muscle function, sleep, and even heart health. It's found in leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and beans. But if you're not eating those foods regularly, no single pill is going to fully make up for that gap. Even things like potassium and vitamin B12, which help regulate blood pressure and keep your nerves and red blood cells healthy, are often low in older adults simply because their diets don't include enough variety. The solution: color your plate. Aim for different fruits and vegetables throughout the week. Swap in whole grains like oats or quinoa. Rotate your proteins. Try new recipes that bring in different textures and flavors. You don't have to be a gourmet chef, just get a little curious. And if chewing or digestion is an issue, look for softer or cooked versions. Steamed vegetables, soups, smoothies, all great ways to deliver nutrients in a gentler form. The more whole foods you bring in, the less likely you are to suffer from silent deficiencies, the ones that drain your strength, mess with your balance, and leave you feeling tired for no obvious reason. Real food heals. Every forkful is an opportunity. Now, I want to talk about something that's more emotional but just as important. And that's the habit of eating alone without enjoyment. It may not sound like a nutrition mistake, but hear me out. When we eat in isolation, rushed, distracted, or just going through the motions, we miss out on one of the most powerful parts of food: connection. And believe it or not, this affects your digestion, your appetite, and even your body's ability to absorb nutrients. You see, when you eat with someone, or even when you slow down and eat mindfully, your body switches into what's called the rest and digest mode. That's when your digestive system works best. You produce more stomach acid, your intestines move more efficiently, and your brain signals satisfaction more clearly. But when you eat standing up in front of the TV or scrolling through your phone, your body stays in go mode and digestion takes a hit. Not to mention, you're more likely to overeat, undereat, or choose less nourishing options. So even if you live alone, try to make your meals feel like an event, not a chore. Light a candle, put on music, sit at the table. Savor the food, better yet, invite someone over for lunch. Join a local potluck. Share a favorite recipe with a neighbor or your grandkids. Food is nourishment, yes, but it's also community. It's pleasure, it's tradition. And when you treat it that way, it nourishes more than just your body. It nourishes your spirit too. You've made it this far, which tells me something important. You care about your health. You care about how you feel, not just today, but in the years to come. And that's exactly the kind of mindset that makes all the difference. We've talked about protein, hydration, processed foods, skipped meals, nutrient gaps, and even the emotional side of eating. And if any of those sounded familiar, that's okay, because recognizing the problem is how change starts. And change, no matter how small, has real power. Now let's take a look at one final mistake, one that's often made with the best intentions, and that's cutting out entire food groups. You may have heard someone say, "I gave up carbs," or "I've gone completely dairy-free," or "I stopped eating fruit because of the sugar." And while every body is different and there are some cases where avoiding certain foods is necessary, many older adults cut out entire categories of food without really needing to. And over time, that can backfire. Let's take carbohydrates, for example. They've gotten a bad reputation. But not all carbs are the same. Sure, a slice of white cake and a bowl of steel-cut oats are both carbs, but one spikes your blood sugar and crashes it, while the other gives you steady energy, fiber, and B vitamins your body actually needs. Your brain runs on carbohydrates. So when you cut them out entirely, especially the complex, slow-digesting ones like brown rice, sweet potatoes, and whole-grain bread, your brain and body can suffer. You might feel foggy, sluggish, or even moody. And over time, it can take a toll on your memory, focus, and mood. The same goes for dairy. Many people give it up completely as they get older, often because of digestive issues. But dairy is a key source of calcium, vitamin D, and protein, all of which are important for bone strength, muscle repair, and immune health. And if lactose is an issue, there are now plenty of lactose-free options. Lactose-free milk, almond or oat milk fortified with calcium, or even yogurt with active cultures that actually help digestion. And what about fruit? Yes, fruit has sugar, but it's natural sugar, packaged with fiber, water, vitamins, and antioxidants. It's a far cry from the processed sugar in cookies or soda. In fact, research shows that people who eat more fruit have a lower risk of heart disease, stroke, and cognitive decline. The key isn't to eliminate, it's to balance. Choose whole, natural foods. Include variety. And if something truly doesn't work for your body, adjust, but make sure you're not cutting out important nutrients along the way. Because your body after 65 needs more support, not less. It needs consistency, nourishment, and respect. The kind of respect that says, I've carried you this far, I'm going to take care of you now even better than before. Let's take a moment to really appreciate that. Your body has done so much for you. It's weathered storms, it's adapted. It's healed from injury, illness, stress, and everything in between. And while it may not be exactly the same as it was at 25 or 45, it still deserves your care. It still responds. It still thrives when you give it what it needs. And that's what all of this is really about. It's not about chasing youth, it's about embracing strength, vitality, presence. It's about staying sharp enough to remember your grandchildren's names and energetic enough to play with them, strong enough to carry your own groceries, balanced enough to walk with confidence, healthy enough to live life on your own terms with freedom, joy, and dignity. So let's take a deep breath and bring it all together. What you eat after 65 matters more than most people realize. It's not just about calories or weight. It's about fueling your body with what it actually needs to keep going strong. That means giving your muscles the protein they need to stay firm and functional. It means drinking enough water to keep your systems running smoothly. It means choosing real whole foods instead of overprocessed packages that promise health but deliver very little. It means eating regularly to keep your energy and blood sugar steady. It means getting vitamins and minerals from your plate, not just your pill box. And it means enjoying your meals, slowing down, connecting, and remembering that food is a gift, not a chore. And finally, it means not being afraid of good food. Carbs, dairy, fruit, these aren't your enemies. When chosen wisely, they're your allies. They're part of the fuel your body was built to run on, and they still belong in your life. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed by all this, just know you don't need to change everything overnight. Pick one thing. Maybe it's having a protein-rich breakfast. Maybe it's drinking more water. Maybe it's adding a banana or a handful of spinach to your daily routine. That's how change begins, not with perfection, but with intention. And remember, it's never too late. You're not too old, too tired, or too far gone to start feeling better. Every bite you take is a new beginning. Every meal is a chance to feed your future. So I'd love to hear from you. What's one small change you're ready to make today? Or what's something you've already done that's made you feel stronger or healthier? Scroll down to the comments and share it with us. You never know who you might inspire just by speaking up. If this video helped you in any way, please take a moment to give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more people who need this kind of supportive, encouraging information. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video. We're here every week with more ways to help you live well, feel strong, and age with confidence. You deserve a life that feels good, a life with strength in your step, clarity in your mind, and peace in your heart. Here's to your health, here's to your strength, and here's to living your best life at any age.